Hi guys, Derek with Iron Rock Off-Road here. We've got a new product we're releasing. Just want to tell you guys a little bit about it. It's the WJ rear Uniframe stiffeners. We've already had the center section and the front section. We've had those for quite a while. But you guys have been asking for these rear Uniframe stiffeners, so we wanted to make sure we could get those to you. What we do is we come in with hot roll pickled oil steel. We CNC laser cut it and CNC press break it, bend it so that it's all ready to go for you guys to weld right onto your vehicles. We've got a lot of really neat features built into this. So as we get it onto the vehicle, we can show you what we can do there, and let's get started. Okay guys, we've got everything taken off of the rig, so we've got access to the Uniframe rail. We can kind of talk about some of the features built into these stiffeners. So if you look here, we've got a couple of relief cuts that are built into this, so you can take a crescent wrench or whatnot to bend it and form it around this corner. You can tap it in a little tighter with the hammer as you go. And right here as you look, we've still got the coil spring mount in the stock location. If you're going to keep it there, you're just going to cut it here and here, and that'll get you the small filler panel here, the additional plate over there with more bend reliefs. Then on the bottom side of the Uniframe, we've got this plate here. Again, if you've relocated your coil spring, you will leave this plate on there. You'll have one piece that'll fill that whole gap. But since we're leaving it in the stock location, we'll cut it in these locations. This will just bolt on underneath. We'll run a weld on it as we get it to that step. We've got it set up. It goes all the way back, so any of the bumpers, heavy-duty stuff you've got in the back, it's really going to help offer a lot of support for that. But we've got it again set so that if you decide to relocate your shocks or again use coilovers, etc., you can leave this plate in as you've cut that off, and it'll all be one piece smooth. But we're leaving it stock, so we're going to cut those out. We've got it all wrapped up around there, so that'll fit real nice. Get us a lot of extra strength. Okay guys, we switched over to the passenger side on this where we've already done some prep to get it ready to put it in the Uniframe stiffeners. So what I've got is the main body of it in the front section. We've already got that spot where we formed it to get around the bend that's in there. Another spot here where we formed it using a crescent wrench. But this shows where the coil spring mount used to be, so we're going to actually get rid of those. So we're going to leave these pieces attached. That way we can be fully welded, 100%, all boxed in. Because we had some rust going on underneath that we're trying to solve. We'll get that all fixed up. What we did is we came in and we marked and ground everywhere that we were going to weld. That way we can come in, put the pieces in place, weld it, then we'll prime it and paint it once we're done. Okay, now that we've showed you everything on these Uniframe stiffeners, we're going to actually start getting you ready to mark it up so that you're ready to start grinding and get this ready to start tack welding and welding in place. So what you're going to do is you're going to clamp everything into place. You're going to bolt it, whatever you need to do to make sure it's tight to that Uniframe. And we're going to come in with our handy-dandy Sharpie. We're just going to mark every single hole, every single spot where we're going to do some welding. What you're going to want to do is once you get all that done, take it all down, grind it, get down to clean bare metal, then put it back up there. We'll do a double check on it. Make sure you didn't miss any spots. Sometimes you think you got everything, but you missed one or two spots. Let's get all those things cleaned up, bare metal. Makes your job a whole lot easier when it starts to weld. I like to use a silver Sharpie because that's got a real nice contrast on the black Uniframe that we've got. So we're just getting ready to weld. We've got everything bolted in, clamped up tight. We're trying to make sure that everything's tight up against the Uniframe. We're going to come in, tack a few spots, and then double check our work, make sure that everything's tight. Then we can start welding it all for real. So we've got everything welded. We've got all the welds ground. Everything's nice and flat. And our next step is going to be to do the upper coil spring mount. So what we're going to do, we cut that off. We're going to replace it and move it back because we weren't quite straight up and down with it. So we're going to use the Iron Rock Off-Road Coil Relocation Kit. What this is going to do is allow us, it was up in here, and we'll move it back so we're perfectly vertical. We're going to have the tube, the plate, and a couple of gussets, so it's super beefy, going to work real well for you. But we'll be able to get this perfectly straight up and down so that our bump stops are working properly together. We're going to spray this with a nice quality self-etching primer. We're going to follow that up with painting with a quality oil-based paint. Okay guys, you can see our paint is all dry. We've got all the seam sealer and all the corners, showing you a couple of the optional things that we did. We relocated our coil springs. We used our Iron Rock off-road relocation kit. Allowed us to slide the coil springs back, get them nice and vertical. We used our hydraulic bump stop mounts here. That's another optional part. And we put in our hydraulic bump stops on that as well. So now we're ready to put the coil spring back in, get it out and hit the trail. So thanks for watching.